Hi everyone, this is Lynn from Monday Journals, and I am back to show you what I've been working on for the past couple of months. I've been working on a couple of things, but has been my main focus. This is a journal that I'm going to be entering into the Orange County Fair this summer. It will go in for judging. It's made the first round, so it is going in for into the fair. It will be displayed, and it will be judged. And I'm so excited to see how I do this year. Instead of going in as a scrapbook junk journal, because of the way things were going this year, they removed some of the divisions, or maybe a class within a division, and though I could have went into two different divisions, and I chose to put it in under upcycled items. And the reason why is because there's a ton of upcycled items in this journal, and the class will be a functional item because it clearly can be used. So many of the things in here are things that were from thrift shops, antique stores, garage sales, yard sales, that people have maybe given me as gifts, so on and so forth. So that's why I can put it in under that class. So let me show you the outside and give you an idea. It's the standard Scholar ledger size, so it's about 5 by 8-ish. And I will be keeping this journal because it does have some fun memories of things in it. The back, so let's start with the cover here. It is an embroidered fabric. That fabric came from a garage sale item, which were these. I bought 3 of these at a garage sale. They are lampshade covers, and the lampshade itself, it was, something you could fold down and fun, but it had these beads hanging off of it. And the minute I saw them a couple years ago, I have to make journals out of these. So this one's done. I have the other 2 started, the pink and the blue. So this is the orange one, the first one, because I was doing some testing when I was gluing it and things. So that's what the outside is made out of, or the base. And then we got some trims. These are just trims I had in my stash I've been holding. I had these little gemstone brads that matched. This was a hair comb that you put in, like, in the back in a ponytail. And someone had this, it was handmade, and I got it as a gift from one of my Girl Scouts many years ago. And the coloring was just perfect. Just matched so well. And then this is a pendant I got from a neighbor who was doing a garage sale, and she knew I was doing some making journals, and it's the blue on it just matched the journal itself. And what it is it's either a moth or a butterfly wing on it. And then in the back it's really hard to see, but if you can, because I don't have the light up there, but it actually has a moth on the back of it as well. There you can see it. And so it has a lot of special meaning because someone else did it. There are a couple little hearts. Those are actually pins. I have one back here as well. It's stuck in the top. And this is a vintage lace doily, tablecloth, whatever you want to call it, but it covers part of the, you see this right here was very bright orange, and that's this part of that lampshade. And so to kind of bring down the tone a little bit, I covered it with the lace to make it it just kind of looks like it'll be beautiful on sitting on someone's desk. Mine. Anyway, so let me show you through the center. A lot of the things in here, there's jewelry that's been reclaimed. It might be mine, it might be given to me. There's things from thrift shops, vintage notebook papers. Some are not vintage, and there's music paper, ledger paper, washi tape. There are things in here that are I'm going to show you that where I use cellophane package wrappers and vintage pattern papers. So that's why it's kind of a reclaimed. There are digital pages, and then there's some pages that I like when I go to thrift shops. I'll pick up, maybe some scrapbook paper that I like and that I can use somewhere. So a lot of it's just bits and pieces. This envelope in the front, this is a digital. I printed it on some of the paper that I picked up, and it has some the old S&H stamps in it to be used throughout the journal. It's just something fun to use on your pages. It's always fun to decorate pages. I love to decorate. This is a vintage image. Actually, it's not an image. Well, it is an image, but it has, I don't know what they were called, but they used to stamp these out and they put them on cards. And I bought this and a package of different ones. There were flowers, roosters, different things in there, and this one matched, but you can see how it's kind of raised a little bit. And so that was from probably like a swap meet that I went to. That was kind of fun, so I picked that up, and it went really nice, especially on the front page. These are just offcuts from within the other pages that I've used, and so I slipped those in this belly band, and the belly band has a sew down the center. And what it is this is a vintage cord that I got off of something, or I saved. And oh, I remember now, this was actually the cord that was on the top of these lampshades. It's hard to see, but it's kind of a greenish. I took them apart and kind of sewed some of that right onto the belly band, and that's washi tape. It's some of that linen washi tape. There are, like I said, there's digitals, and the pages are mostly blank. I come to places here or there are things that have glued in. The pages have stenciling on them. Almost every page has some sort of stenciling on it. This paper was picked up, like I said, from a Goodwill. I got a lot of pieces from my daughter. She had pieces of watercolor paper that I used Tim Holtz die cuts, and I cut out the flowers, or cut it out, and then I would paint them, and you'll see that throughout here. I have a couple of them. This one actually has stitching on it, but where I've actually did some fun things to it and made it match the book. It's just a image I got somewhere from something and threw that in there. The back of this page, this is a lace doily. I've watercolored it. You can see the shine on it. I'll cut it in half so it opens up. And then this is a vintage image from the front of one of the sewing patterns that I had, I should say. Most of them I cut up, but kind of fun. It matched the book. Here's one of the, actually there's two here. This one's a daisy. And the paper that's in here is that cellophane paper that I've maybe taken off of something and saved. This one's Nightshade. I made some slides out of them. It can be kept. I mean, I made them, so they're, part of things that I have in my stash, so they're kind of keepsakes for me. One of my favorite wax seals I have says Always Forever, and it has the clover, heart clovers. At the end of this page has a pendant. I forget what they call those kind, but it's really pretty. It's attached with the safety pin, one of the Tim Holtz safety pins. And then you'll see these in the back They are the watercolor paper, die cut out, and then I watercolor it to match the inside, which is nice. Another piece of sewing ephemera, so I, cut out these cute little bustiers, and then I sew on, actually not sew, I glue in some of the tissue paper, and the tissue paper has, I ruffle it and I make it so it looks really cute. And then here's some more of the lace from the outside. It actually had tassel on it, so something fun. I like those. It's just another little addition with a couple tags in it, sewed up. This is wrapping paper. A piece of wrapping paper with the vintage simplicity patterns on that I cut out. I saved it from something, of course. Let's see what I have through here. This plain papers, music paper. And I tea stain the paper, even if I get it from certain places. Another flower that I watercolored, glued in. It's kind of like half. You see it kind of sticking out on the edge here. And then I sewed it in at the bottom. Just hand sewed it in. Some sewing on the edge of that page. Some ephemera that I've done some watercolor to add some extra color on the page. These are a die cut as well. It's a lace die cut. It's not actually lace. And I glued it and then sewed it. But it's kind of a fun addition. This is an extra stamp, a vintage stamp. This one says Germany on it. And the other one's used in the journal, but just I mean, it's got the vintage on it, so it's just over the edge, so it can be used anywhere. A couple of tags on this at the end of this one that you can write in. That one, and there's the other vintage stamp, collector of memories, that one says. And then here's a butterfly. And then I have some gems that I glued onto that edge of the butterfly. And this is like a page tab. And at the end here is another butterfly. It's a paper clip. And the paper clip has a butterfly on it, which has the Ranger glossy accent. So it's kind of shiny. It peeks out the top of the book. It can be moved anywhere. There's the back side, and I put some of those gems on the back. Another one of those die cuts that's been watercolored. Tim Holtz girls, or not girls, but the Tim Holtz dolls. And on this page is, there's some more gems on it, but I also added a charm from, it's an earring set. The other one's in here somewhere. And this one flips out. It has a little book of papers in it. These are offcuts from when I make my journals for my traveler's notebook. It is like Tomoe River paper, so it's really nice to write on. Some pretty images from a stencil, kind of a little bit darker in this one. And another watercolor die cut. I like that one. Looks like the I tried to make it match what I have on the outside. I don't know if I mentioned that, but this one's, here's a center is, this is actually the center of the third, so it's the center of the book. It's a pretty image, digital image. There's a this is a, I think it's a sticker. Kind of matches. It's a rose. I have a sunflower seed packet. It's empty, but it can be, you can leave it open and add some tags in it. But I love sunflowers, my favorite flower. So I keep the packages. I use them in my journals. This was kind of fun. The stencil carries over to the second page. And then the back of this folder has 3 different cards on it to write on this one, or put pictures on them. 1, 2, and this one's a piece of paper. It's not so heavy. It can be used anywhere in the journals. You can stick it where you want it, but that's different from everywhere else. It's another charm that kind of matches it. It is blue. And then the back of this has lace on it. Actually, it's a paper doily. It is tea stained. I have one on the other side of this one too, but I've taken some embroidery floss, sewed it in with my sewing machine using the flower stitch. I like how that turned out. It matches it so pretty. And this is just a piece of, ephemera I got from somewhere. I think Tuesday morning at one point, maybe, or it could be a printed digital, but it's been sitting in my stash. I need to use it up. Antique buttons, or vintage buttons, can't call them antique really, but vintage buttons, some lace, just lots of fun to make and create. This one, again, here's another, these are stickers with some trim. This is a cutout from, like a punch that I have. And then I use some of the cellophane packaging, put it in the center. And then this is some of the fabric from the cover that I've put in between and sandwiched in between there, so that when you put something in, you can actually see what's behind it. So you could take the takeout, use it somewhere else, and maybe put in something else that has a pretty backing on it. You'll see these here or there throughout this book. These are paper die cuts, or they're paper lace, but they're die cuts. The ribbon that I used on these was some sort of paper ribbon I got from another thrift shop, and when I cut it out, it just gave it it was flowered, but it gave it such a pretty look that it was perfect for adding the embellishment to this journal. I think there's anything there. There's a dictionary page, vintage dictionary page. It's nice and thin. This is just some to like finish off the edge of pages here or there. This is linen washi tape. It is not vintage, or not, but these papers are. So this paper came in a notepad. It's a vellum. Really fun. It's this, and I have more than one of these books. It comes from this. It's called Clear Print, and it's kind of a fun edition. I have different ones. I don't know if this is exactly this page because it looks lighter, but I have a couple of different books like that I'll pull pages out and put them in my journals because it's nice to write on, and I like the grid. It's fun. I like to write on different papers. This is a flip. It goes on both sides of my page, and the flip has 2 notebooks, one on each side. And the images on it are fabric. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually fabric. This isn't, but these are Simplicity fabrics, and I cut out a couple of the images and glued them on, and then collaged them on the outside. And it is held on with a clip, and it has just some of the beads that I didn't need from the top, but it has beads on it. And I've colored out the clip, and it holds it in as a page marker. It can be moved anywhere within the book. And there's another watercolor flower. some stickers. And the back of this folder has you could slip in quite a few things here. It's all open, so you can store stuff. I have in it right now a slide. This slide has a cherry, like a little, little cherry limb on it that I've dried. I dry my own flowers. I have a dryer, and then I put it on. This is again some of that recycled packaging that I get. And here's the back of that, another one of those. The other half of the lace doily is sold a different color. The start of this signature, the last one, the teacup has a little embellishment hang off both sides, a little gem. That's the second one. It's a matching earring set, and then this was from part of the necklace itself. It also has another paper clip at the top, and then inside there's a couple of these are digitals. I've glued on some tag board. No, it's not tag board. This is actually just some paper I got. Like I said, a lot of the paper I pick up is from Goodwill. And then here's another one. And this is a digital. See how I cut that off and then kind of glued it in. A little different. Little fun things tucked, all around the journals. Those are always fun. There's another one of my stencils that has watercolor on it. And the last pocket, check this out. It is a seed packet from the Orange County Fair from 2005. They gave them out. Sometimes they have something that they give out every year. Maybe it's a button or whatever. This year they gave out, the Orange County Fair gave out icicle radish seeds, and I saved the package afterwards. And how much fun is that, huh? I was able to put it in this journal. It matched, the colors were fun. It matched it. Hopefully they'll find that when they go through and take a peek. It is at the back of the journal, so hopefully they go through every page. And this is a postcard. It is a vintage postcard, and it's an embroidered postcard. How much fun is that? Cool or what? It was never mailed. I don't know where it's from, not off the top of my head without taking it off. But I thought it was a nice addition to the back. Kind of makes my tracing paper a little bit, easier to turn. It's not so flimsy. There we go. It's on the back. It is from Madrid. You can see right through it. Madrid. And then on the back page is a bunch of lace. I wanted to hang off one more little bead on there. And then these are pieces of papers that can be used to use collage or whatever on the inside of the journal. But always a nice addition to have extra papers when you don't have them with you. The back page of that is covered with a couple of different die cuts, watercolored, like that. And I watercolor them after I die cut. I would, no reason why. I make a stash of the watercolor paper die cuts, and I take them with me when we go camping or when I'm looking for something to do here at my desk, and I will go ahead and so it gives me something to do when I have something else besides maybe cutting out my fussy cut things. And then this one is another one of the envelopes. It has nothing in the inside. Not this one, but it's for storing things, keepsakes. And it just slips into the back pocket. And that's it. That's the end of the journal. Hope you liked it. Hoping I do pretty well. It's pretty chunky. Like I said, chunkier than I had hoped. And I will probably be keeping this first journal because there are things in here that have, you know, some meaning to me. And I have not actually kept one of my hardcover journals. It is hardcover, it's not a soft cover. So I haven't kept one of mine. I really like how it turned out. So very, very happy with it. So hope the judges think so too after it comes back from the fair, and I will post and let you all know how it did. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked what you saw. Got some fun ideas of things that you can go to garage sales and pick up, or thrift stores, things you don't normally, you know, maybe think right away and go, wow, you know, that's a great idea. I should pull that out and purchase it and make a journal out of it. So have a great weekend or whatever you're doing. Again, thank you so much for watching. Bye.